Your teacher today is Dr. Bbosa Science. Dr. Bbosa is a teacher at the Science Foundation College. Telephone 256-778-633-682. Website digitalteachers.co.ug. Here you find notes, exams and their marking guides for physics, chemistry, biology and math. YouTube channel Digital Teachers Uganda. Here you find videos for physics, chemistry and biology. The best secondary school is the Science Foundation College. Plus 256 753 80 2709. The best primary school is Local of Ages. Plus 253 772 84 91 06. Today, 10th November 2020, we are going to revise objective questions in excretion. 1. Marine cartilaginous fish solve its osmoregulatory problem by A. Swallowing seawater and having few glomeruli. B. Actively extruding solids. C. Retaining urea to increase osmotic potential of body fluids. D. Excreting trimethyl nitrogen oxide. You can pause and answer. The answer is C. Retaining urea to increase osmotic potential of body fluids slightly above seawater to reduce osmotic loss of water. 2. Production of uric acid is an adaptation for A. Conserving water. B. Minimizing energy loss. C. Conserving mineral salts. D. Removing excess water. You can pause and answer. The answer is A. Conserving water. Uric acid being insoluble in water requires less water to be removed. Number 3. The U-shape of the loop of Henry serves to A. Speed up filtration. B. Increase the contents of the filtrate. C. Reduce the concentration of filtrate. D. Create a region of high salt concentration. You can pause and answer. The answer is D. Create a region of high concentration in the medulla to facilitate absorption of water by osmosis. Number 4. Which of the following parts of the nephron contributes to the production of hypertonic urine? A. Bowman's capsule. B. Proximal convoluted tubule. C. Distal convoluted tubule. D. Loop of Henry. You can pause and answer. The answer is C. Distal convoluted tubule determines the concentration of urine in presence or absence of ADH. In the presence of ADH, the distal convoluted tubule leads to production of hypertonic urine, while in absence of ADH, distal convoluted tubule leads to production of dilute urine. Number 5. In which part of mammalian kidney Is blood likely to be most viscous? A. In afferent vessel. B. In capillaries or proximal tubule. C. In efferent vessel. D. In capillaries of distal tubules. You can pause and answer. The answer is C. In efferent vessel. After filtration, water is removed from blood. So in efferent vessel, you have proteins and red blood cells remaining. Number 6. Which of the following is an adaptation of the kidney in fresh water? A. Large glomeruli. B. Long loop of Henle. C. Well-developed collecting duct. D. Few glomeruli. You can pause and answer. The answer is large glomeruli to enable high filtration rate and high production of urine to remove excess water from the animal. Number 7. Which one of the following is an adaptation of an organism for aquatic condition? A. Development of pollen tube. B. Shelled eggs. C. Internal fertilization. D. Flagellated sperms. You can pause and answer. The answer is D. Flagellated sperms to swim towards the eggs in external fertilization. Number 8. Production of hypertonic urine in animals is achieved by A. Bowman's capsule. B. Loop of Henle. C. Proximal convoluted tube. D. Distal convoluted tubules. You can pause and answer. The answer is D. Hypertonic urine is determined by distal convoluted tubule in the presence of ADH. ADH causes the absorption of water from the distal and the collecting ducts, which leads to hypertonic urine. In the absence of ADH, less water is absorbed from the collecting duct, leading to hypotonic urine. Number 9. Hydrophytes do not have wax-covered leaves because A. They need much air for fast respiration. B. They don't need to conserve water. C. The wax would make the leaves heavy and sink. D. Their leaves cannot synthesize wax. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. They don't need to conserve water. When wax is covered on the leaves, it reduces water loss. Number 10. The influx of water in freshwater bony fish is offset by possession of A. Numerous large glomeruli and the absorption of salts from renal fluids. B. Numerous small glomeruli and extrusion of salts from the body. C. Few large glomeruli and uptake of salts. D. Many small glomeruli and uptake of salts. You can pause and answer. The answer is A. The numerous large glomeruli remove excess water from the body. The absorption of salts from the renal fluids restores internal osmotic potential. Number 11, which of the following sets of characteristics is an adaptation in mammal to desert conditions? A. Uric acid production and short loop of Henle. B. Long loop of Henle and production of urea. C. Ammonia production and long loop of Henle. D. Short loop of Henle and urea production. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Long loop of Henle and production of urea. Number 12. Which one of the following adaptations would not assist animals living in a desert? A. Use of metabolic water. B. Possession of large number of glomeruli. C. Possession of long loop of Henle. D. Production of non-toxic nitrogenous waste. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Possession of large number of glomeruli would lead to large volume of water lost in urine. Number 13. Which of the following is a method halophytes use to survive physiological drought? A. Reduction of the number of stomata on their leaves. B. Reversing the normal stomata rhythm. C. Storing water. D. Having waxy cuticle. The answer is C. Storing water. Reduction of the number of stomata, reversing normal stomata rhythm, and having waxy cuticle are adaptation to reduce water loss by evaporation, not by osmotic loss of water. Number 14. In order to survive in the sea, marine bony fish A. Lose water by osmosis and absorb solids. B. Swallow water and absorb solids. C. Swallow water and extrude solids. D. Gain water by osmosis and extrude solids. You can pause and answer. The answer is the C. So they swallow water and extrude solids using chloride glands to remove excess solids from the body. Number 15. Antidiuretic hormone is produced by A. Adrenal gland and reduce urine production. B. Pituitary gland and decrease urine production. C. Adrenal gland and increase urine production. D. Pituitary gland and increase urine production. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. It is produced by posterior part of pituitary gland and decrease urine production. Number 16. Which of the following results into production of concentrated urine by an animal? A. Possession of large glomeruli. B. Possession of long loop of Henle. C. Failure to produce ADH. D. Possession of many glomeruli. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. possession of long loop of Henry. Number 17. Which of the following concentration of proteins is correctly matched? High in glomerular filtrate, B, high in blood plasma, usually absent in glomerular filtrate and urine, C, high in both blood plasma and glomerular filtrate, C, high in blood plasma, glomerular filtrate and urine. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Proteins are high in blood plasma but absent in glomerular filtrate because they cannot go through the basement membrane of glomerular capillaries. Number 18. If the osmotic pressure of external solution is lower than that of the cell, the external solution is said to be A, hypotonic to the cell solution, B, hypertonic to the cell solution, C, isotonic to the cell solution, D, more concentrated than the cell solution. You can pause and answer. The answer is A, is the hypotonic to the cell solution. Number 19. Which one of these protein constituents is reabsorbed in distal convoluted tube? A, urea, B, chloride, C, glucose, D, proteins. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Urea is not reabsorbed. Glucose is reabsorbed in proximal convoluted tubules. Proteins don't exist in glomerular filtrate because they are too big to go through glomerular capillary walls. Number 20. The physiological importance of hairpin countercurrent multiplier system in mammalian kidney is to ensure that A, much water is excreted out through the kidney, B, much water is reabsorbed, C, glucose is not lost in urine, D, all urea is excreted. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Number 21. Which of the following methods is used by marine fishes to overcome the problem of dehydration? A, increase in glomerular filtration rate, B, extensive reabsorption of salts from renal fluids, B, exclusion of salts by chloride secretory cells, D, elimination of nitrogenous wastes in the form of insoluble compounds. You can pause and answer. The answer is C. Marine fishes swallow water and eliminate salts by chloride secretory cells. Number 22. Below are cross sections of kidneys of animals. There's kidney 1 and kidney 2. Which of the following is true of the kidneys? A, kidney 1 is possessed by freshwater animals to reduce water loss. Kidney 1 is possessed by animal in the desert to reduce water loss. C, kidney 2 is possessed by freshwater animal to reduce water loss. D, kidney 2 is possessed by an animal in the desert to reduce water loss. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Kidney 1 is possessed by an animal in the desert to reduce water loss because it has got a bigger medulla relative to the cortex, meaning that it has got long loops of Henry. This one has got smaller medulla relative to the cortex. So it is possessed by animal in fresh water to increase water loss. Number 24. Which of the following is a method used by marine bonefish to overcome a problem of fluids that are hypotonic to the surroundings? A. Increase in glomerular filtration. B. Extensively absorption of salts. C. Retention of urea. D. Elimination of non-toxic nitrogenous waste. You can pause and answer. The answer is D. Elimination of non-toxic nitrogenous waste to minimize water loss. Otherwise, fish with hypotonic blood are living in the sea where they have a problem of losing water by osmosis. Retention of urea is a method used by cartilaginous non-bony fish. Cartilaginous fish in the sea retain urea to make their osmotic potential relatively higher than that one of the sea water to prevent osmotic loss of water. But bony fish don't retain urea but eliminate non-toxic nitrogenous wastes. Number 25. Which one of the following way of minimizing water loss in desert animal? A. Drinking a lot of water. B. Possession of few glomeruli. C. Feeding on succulent vegetation. D. Having short loop of Henry. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Possession of few glomeruli, reduce glomerular filtration rate, and loss of water in urine. Number 26. Where in the host is a parasite lacking sense organs and osmoregulatory devices likely to be located? A. On the skin. B. Under the hair. C. In the alimentary canal. D. In intracellular fluids. You can pause and answer. The answer is D. In intracellular fluids, because intracellular fluids are osmotically regulated. Number 27. Which of the following is a disadvantage of excreting nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid? A. Is less soluble and less toxic. B. Is excreted in the same solid form. C. Requires energy. D. Requires less water for excretion. You can pause and answer. The answer is C. Synthesis of uric acid requires a lot of energy compared to urea and ammonia. Number 28. Deciduous plants in temperate zones shed off their leaves in the winter. A. Because of shortage of water. B. To cut down the process of guttation. C. Because of too much water available. D. To avoid freezing. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. To cut down the process of guttation. In a cold environment, water loss is lost by guttation other than transpiration. 29. Which of the following is known an adaptation for aquatic plant. A. Poorly developed roots. B. Lack of stomata. C. Possession of fine cuticle. D. Poorly developed xylem. You can pause and answer. The answer is B. Aquatic plant should have stomata to increase loss of excess water. Number 30. The excretory product in plants include A. Oxygen and starch. B. Urea and ammonia. C. Oxygen and carbon dioxide. D. Carbon dioxide and urea. You can pause and answer. The answer is C. Oxygen during photosynthesis and carbon dioxide during respiration. Thank you so much for listening to this video. You can visit our website digitalteachers.co.ug for notes, for exams and their marking guides, or our YouTube channel Digital Teachers Uganda to get similar videos. Please subscribe to promote my work. Subscription is free. The best secondary school is the Science Foundation College, plus 256 753 80 27 09. The best primary school to develop a science foundation in your child is Lock of Ages Primary School, plus 256 772 84 91 06.